Hello people of YouTube, and it's pickups time. Don't worry if you watch the food blog. I've not just been sitting in this t-shirt for days. I've literally just recorded it straight after. So not that that's for everyone, that's just for anyone who wants to lose some weight. But yeah, if you've noticed, me and a couple of others, we had a bit of a road trip and it was flipping fantastic. I've got to say, it was much needed, needed a bit of time of craziness. I know Big Al's just done a video on it, so go and check his video out down below, which probably explains some of the craziness that has happened, because yeah, we had some crazy hotels, lots of food, and just thoroughly good time. Not just game hunting as well, although we did do a fair bit of it. Just want to say big thanks to, who did we see? Dave Birdsall, Games Played Badly. Visited him and his house, which mainly his game room. I mean, that's what we're there for, isn't it? Really enjoyed that. It's exactly how you thought it was going to be. Just immaculate shelves with full of heavy hitters and beautifulness, and some hit squads. He liked his cheap games, so there was lots of hit squad, whatever that is. So yeah, that was quite good to see. But along that time, we also had, who do we have? Sean, Retro Games Revived, which is always a pleasure to see Sean and his laughter. We went to his local curry house, and it was closed because we don't plan things. But we went to his local pub, and oh my goodness, I would love that to be my local pub. It was so good. We were drinking beers that the bar staff didn't even know what was there. Yeah, just good time. So from there we went on to see Marcus, and again, awesome to see Marcus. And he's also the best game room in the UK, must be, hands down. It's just, everything is immaculate, perfectly placed. Yes, it's not got the most games in it, but it's got the most gaming opportunity in it. There's just the ability to play anything at any time, just for a touch of a button. We played some racing game. What was it? Not Forza, Project Gotham Racing. For it was multiplayer. I think we only got 3 at the time. But yeah, that room was amazing. The sound was just incredible. Flipping. Yeah, and not only that, but Marcus himself was an alright guy, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, we went for a beer afterwards, and got me and Big Game Al walking all around where he lives, to go to all the pubs. Yeah, we needed a bit of a fat burning, you see, before the debauchery that was to be, the alcohol that was about to consume. So yeah, great old time. Yeah, who else? Did we see anyone else? I don't know if we saw anyone else. And if we did, I apologise greatly. But yes, with all, am I recording? With all the thank yous and great times, like I say, Al's probably done, I'm not seeing it, but I've seen it pop up. Al's done a fantastic video, no doubt, no doubt. So go see that, and that'll explain everything. But we're here to see the pickups. And yeah, we did all right. To be honest, I wasn't looking for a lot of stuff. I but I've got a fair stack here, to be fair. And one really cool thing, actually, to start that off with, Big Game Al brought me some games from his shelves. So I guess that really counts as pickups on the trip. So what did we get? So we got ourselves a load of Mega Drive games. Can you believe it? From Alan. We got Aquatic Games on the Mega Drive, an EA classic, very common as muck, but flipping heck, I absolutely love this game. It's got a really baggy cover on it, feels weird, but yeah, this is a game that I wanted back in my collection for years and years and years. I've just got a loose cart of it, so if anyone wants a loose cart of this, by all means just let me know, and I'll pop it your way, send it your way. But yeah, fantastic game. I played this to death on the Amiga. The Mega Drive's okay, but you really need the joystick for doing a couple of the events. You really do. And I think, what was my favourite game on here? Probably the trampoline, where you do like loads of stunts, and you just like trying to get to that last extra trick in before you have to do the next bounce. and you always ended up flat on your face. But yeah, once you got really good at it, it was really addictive. So yeah, A Quiet Games, cheapy, but lots of value to me. Next up, one that's always intrigued me. Again, another Amiga classic. Well, I'm not sure if it's an Amiga classic, but it's an Amiga game, and it is Man Overboard. Man, look at that cover. That is so cool. This is one that I've seen around quite a lot, and it's always in really poor condition. But this is all complete, and it's not in poor condition. And Al did me quite a good deal on this one. This one's, funny enough, it's not actually a cheapie. It's not expensive or anything like that. But it's not like super expensive. You're not going to get, I don't think you normally get this much cheaper than about 50 quid. But yeah, so pleased to get this. Again, this just, the gameplay that's on it just screams Amiga for me. The Mega Drive was really good at sort of like hosting a lot of Amiga games. Another game that I've been wanting for quite some time. I actually can't remember what's in this bag fully. I really can't. So this is I'm learning what I've picked up along the way with you. We've got Duel Master. So yeah, this one again seems to be a bit under the radar, but this is sort of like a run and gun samurai style game, and I think it's a sequel to something on the Master System as well. Or am I thinking of another game? I can't remember, but yeah, it's one that I've really wanted to play, and it used to see this around for like £5 or so all the time, and it's one that seems to be shooting up in price at the moment. So actually really can't wait to play that one. Another one, I think I've had this before. Another one that was cheapy, seems to be going up in price. Still cheap, but not as cheap as it used to be. And surprisingly so as well. It's Toy Story for the Mega Drive. Blue Spine, Sega Zombie. Yeah, I think it was. Do you know? I never really put much thought into it until I watched a couple of videos, and then who picked it up? Gernaldinho Plays picked it up, and said a lot of good things about it, and it really pushes the Mega Drive to the limits. I mean, look at the graphics on that. And what I only just noticed is Psygnosis, published by Psygnosis, made by Traveller's Tales. So interesting stuff. If you like your Lego games, I mean, that's where they went on to carry on making the games, wasn't it? Was it Lego? I'm sure it's Lego. I might be talking a load of crap right now, but is it complete? It's complete, of course it is. Tatty, look at that, Tatty. It's not, it's got creases in it, you never mentioned that. Next up, again, another Amiga classic. Well, I don't know if it's an Amiga classic, but I remember it on the Amiga. And I've always, not picked this up for whatever reason. But then I started, I sort of watched a couple of videos and I was like, no, I need to get it. Another EA game, Risky Woods. Yeah, again, another one that seems to be going up in price. I mean, a lot of these Mega Drive games are, but there's a lot that's actually getting cheaper. But yeah, this seems to be going up. So obviously, this is ready for a price drop, and it looks interesting. 150 screams of mayhem over 12 levels. Yeah, it's just. Do you know what I think it was? It was David Tyler, whatever his channel name is. He picked this up and kind of waxed lyrically about it and said good things, made me want to get it. So yeah, fortunately I was selling it, so I got it. One that I can't believe is not in my collection. I think I was just waiting for bundles, and I didn't really want to pay too much about it on it. But do you know what? I've wanted this since I've been a wee lad, and I've had it and I've played it quickly, but I'm not giving it the time. Childlike Eddie really should have invested wanting it for, if that makes sense. It doesn't. But yeah, it's Green Dog. Yeah, this is a terrible game. Supposedly this is going to be like a mascot of Sega at one point. Yeah, that would have been an interesting one. I guess it was because it was full of Tood, and back then Tood was all about Mega Drive, wasn't it? But yeah, I was just always intrigued by the cover. And I don't know what it was. I think it was because I did see low scores for this game. But I always just loved the look of that cover. And it's called Green Dog. And I was really into sort of alternative American culture back when I was younger. And yeah, just never got it. Never got it. Next up, I think Al threw this in so I could drive him around, and it's theme park. Yeah, I was considering getting like all of his EA games, and then I decided not to because well, it would have been quite pricey. um, but yeah, this is one of them that you just put in. I don't know, like theme park on the old Mega Drive. Don't know, it's an Amiga game, but like one that you need to have the mouse for, isn't it? Again, another one that is put in here. What's this? Lotus Turbo Challenge, another Amiga game. Not the best version of it, I don't think, but it's definitely got a flipping weighty old manual. Very weighty manual. So yeah, really sort of pleased for that. Funny enough, more Mega Drive games that are based on Amiga games. James Pond 2, Robocod. I mean, if you don't put this game on and hear the soundtrack of this, and it doesn't instantly make you have a good mood, be in a good mood, then there's something wrong with you, because this game is. I really fancy playing this. It's on every system known to man. I think there's probably even a PS4 version of it. But rightly so, it's great. So yeah, can't wait to give that a go just for a few minutes, just to keep me smiling. And another game I hate. It's one of them games that you love to hate, but fortunately, it's not really expensive at all. And it's Last Battle on the Mega Drive. So yeah, all complete. One that it's like pennies. Yeah, it's what is it called? Fist of the North Star, but with the Fist of the North Star branding taken off. I played the Master System sort of version of this. What's it called? Fist of the North Star Master System game, and I actually really enjoyed it. It made me think, do I need Last Battle back in my life? Because I was kind of like staying away for games like this because this is the Mega Drive isn't it? Really, but I don't know. I kind of wanted it back. So yeah, they were the games from Al. So big thanks to that, Al. You did a sterling job keeping them in great condition. I've got to say, some of them are really good. So next up, from a few various different shops, I picked up some Game Boy games. Got a stack of Game Boy games, all loose. Can you believe it? But first off, we'll show you these ones, shall we? So Dave Birdsall, I can't remember how it came about. I don't know if it was just in a WhatsApp group or something, but he said he's not really a big Game Boy collector, and he's got a couple of games. And I was like, I really want these games. And the first one is Balloon Kid. Now, I've not really wanted to get Balloon Kid, but because I just thought it was like a joust game, and joust is it's take it or leave it. It's good with a couple of you playing, but on your own, like Game Boy style, I don't know. It just doesn't seem interesting. But Basavi James swears by this game, and because of that, I had like 4 months looking for this game for him, a box copy. And in that meantime, I was like, I need to get a copy, but it's a game one that's not £2 anymore. So yeah, big thanks to this, Dave. And another one, Zool. So I am really intrigued to see how this plays. I'm just wondering because it's again it's a love hate relationship with the game on the Amiga. It's like it's pretty cool, but it's also gets really frustrating fast because it is so fast. So obviously this isn't going to be able to move the same lick as an Amiga game. So could that solve the game and make it a little bit better? Make it a more traditional platformer? I don't know, but I'm actually intrigued to look after to see that. And yeah, cheers, Dave. They are awesome. I was supposed to bring in a game for him, but I forgot everything on this trip. So yeah, what else have we got? So from where was this one from? Doorway to Darkness. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff in that shop. Really cool to walk around. Not much for me, to be honest. A lot of the stuff I've either got or not really interested in. But they had a lot of Game Boy games, and Al beat me to a few of them because he's good like that. But he left this one, and I was quite intrigued by Roger Rabbit. which is a Capcom game. Can you believe? So anything Capcom related, I mean, I'm there. So I actually have not seen any reviews on this one to see what kind of game it is. I can only I can only tell you what the Amiga game is, and that was really cool. It was like actually playing Roger Rabbit, the actual film. It was nuts how good that was, but also really poor gameplay. um, and I don't think that would be able to be put onto this cartridge. So yeah, quite intrigued, quite intrigued. And then three more Game Boy games we got from. Where did we get these from? Lee's, not Lee's Deals. Lee, what's he called? Saw Thumbs in York. So yeah, had a big stack of Game Boy games, and funny enough, me and Al got to the same game, and there was quite a bit of a story about that one. So the first one, what to be honest, I've got all these games. I'm not sure if I've not checked to see if I already owned some of them, but yeah, for 12 quid we got Turtles on the Game Boy, and I've been wanting this for so long, but so damn pricey. It just really is, and I thought for 12 quid, I'll get it. See if I can bundle it up. But yeah, I said, can you get a deal on this? Can you do it for a tenner? He said, no, I've already changed the price of it. Ask Al. So I asked Al when we left after I paid for it. So let's see what the price is underneath it. Oh, I can't see. Well, supposedly Al's copy cost a fiver, and then he put it up to 12 quid. So yeah, I'm just wondering if mine should have been a fiver. Bugger, that would have been a great deal, I tell you. But for a fiver, I did get Gremlins 2. Another game that I know for the NES. And I don't think I have this on the NES. I don't know. But it's one of them games. It's flipping, I don't know, nostalgic. It was in an early collecting game that I needed to have and was so pleased to get when I got it. And I'm really looking forward to playing the Game Boy version. I would have loved to have it boxed, but I'm not paying the prices anymore. And another one I'm intrigued to see. I'm assuming this is going to be like the NES game, and it's Asterix for a tenner. Again, I might have this game. I have a feeling I've got this boxed, but I know Paul said if I do, he will buy that off me. So you never know. You might see this in another pickups video. Who knows? Yeah. So load of Game Boy games. Really pleased, and that is the retro. So if you're not into retro, I'll probably end the video here. Well, we've got a film. We've got a film. So funny enough, we was talking about this film on the trip. At the beginning of the trip, we went to a charity shop. Can't remember what town it was. And funny enough, it came up, and it's one that you just don't see, and it's Delicatessen. So yeah, so it's sort of a international film comedy. I can't remember anything about it now. I'm in front of the camera. I can't remember anything about it, but it's funny that we was talking about it, and it came up in a charity shop of all things. It says, "Return to Jane and Pete. Suspicions, I don't know, quirky." That's what they've talked about this film as. So yeah, I'm actually really pleased, really looking forward to seeing this. I actually nearly watched it last night, but I got a bit too tired and forgot to. So right, from a CX. Oh, to be honest, a lot of these purchases were from CX. We saw for 6 quid, BlazBlue Continuum Shift. So I'm not sure if I've got this, but I definitely don't have this special edition. It's not the best condition, but for 6 quid, come on, how can you leave that behind? I am a bit worried about taking this off, so might get the old hair dryer on it and take it off that way. But yeah, just really cool fighter. To be honest, I'm looking for the full set on the PS4 so I can play them on my arcade machines, because it's actually a really good fire. I have played one of them a fair bit on the Xbox 360. So next up we have got PS4 games. So what we got? So a lot of this stuff I already own. I've already got it, but they're upgrades. And the first one is Super Deluxe editions of Borderlands 3. So again, 8 quid this was, and I think I could trade in the original, which I do own, for a fiver. And I love the Borderland games. it was a slow start for me liking them, but I played one, didn't really enjoy it. Skipped to two, fell in love with it. Couldn't put it down, stopped putting it down, and I played it on the Vita. Of all consoles, I played it on the Vita, and yeah, and I went back to Borderlands One, loved it, played this, and it was great. It's not. The thing is, none of them are as good as two. Two is fantastic. It is the best one. I kind of want to play what's it called, the pre sequel, but I've heard a lot of people say a few bad things about it. But it's getting to that point where I need to. But yeah, this is like an embossed what's it called, paper slip cover that's so cool, and then a steel book, and then doofers inside. So yeah, this is a really pretty edition. I've always wanted it, and for £8, you can't say that. Basically, it's going to be cost £3 just to upgrade my copy. So mega pleased with that. And then a game series that I've played when I got a 360 original, and originally, but it's a first-person shooter, so I didn't really, it didn't gel with me. I'm a late bloomer in the first-person shooter world. I love Doom, but then I didn't like anything after that. But it's this, I think they've upgraded the systems and everything like that, and I've heard this is actually really good, and it is Far Cry 5. So yeah, it's a special edition, like a deluxe edition, and for £8, I thought it's time to jump on. I mean, I'm really enjoying getting these kind of like special editions for the price of a normal edition, I might add. That's kind of like how I go for it. But yeah, what comes with this? Comes with a cool, I don't know, bump pack. It's probably the best way to describe it, and then just the standard game. But yeah, really pleased. I actually don't own this game, so, and intrigued to see what the Far Cry series is all about. Like I say, I've heard a lot of good things about it. And another game that I don't think I own, let me just double check. I don't know if you can see that. So another game that I definitely don't own, but I've never seen this before. The Mad Max Ripper Edition. Yeah, this is really cool. Again, I just love trawling all, because we went to hundreds of CX, well not hundreds, but tens of CXs over a week. It was good to like go through all of their stocks and like sort of sift out these special editions that are priced up for a normal edition. And again, this is a game. It was pretty much a launch game. I can remember when the PS4 first came out. Not many big AAA titles. Again, just like how PS5 is now. This is one of them, and everyone gravitated towards it. And I think everyone basically said it was like a GTA, but in the desert. And I really like Mad Max, and that kind of put me off. But I've heard a lot of people sort of like say different things about it recently, and it intrigues me a lot more. Sort of like a car combat style game. I might be wrong, but yeah, this is a embossed steelbook, which yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not really into steelbooks that are just a steelbook. They have to have a slipcover for me to be interested, because I do like a good solid spine. But yeah, really pleased with that one for £8. And again, one that really intrigued to play. And next up, finally got this. I'm probably the last person in the world who likes retro games on the PS4 to have got this game, and it is Final Vendetta. So James, retro games, import games. Yes, I finally got it. You did say I would get it, because I said I'm not like in a rush to get it. I'll get it when it's cheaper. And this was in Morecambe at Lee's Games, is it? What a cool store that is. Lee's Games is like, it's got really good heavy hitting retro games, but like they're like sort of 360, PS3, PS1. They've got a lot of stuff, but it's not all like being sifted through. There's a lot of like uncommon games in there that you just don't see that often, and they're not for like ridiculous prices. So he also had this, and this was £35 for the special edition. And I thought, do you know what? I've seen people buy this for £35 for a standard edition, so I'd be foolish not to get this. It's a numbskull game edition, so I'm assuming there's going to be badges in here and stuff like that. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about this. I've heard this is actually brutally hard. I think this had a patch recently to put an easy mode in, or maybe just make things just a little bit easier. I have heard that. But yeah, really can't wait to play this. Uh, one of the games. This is probably the game of the trip. Um, However, it's not the item of the trip. The item of the trip has to be this. Fucking hell. Oh, so cool. So when we was up in Marcus's world, up in the northeast, we went to a video game store. I think it was in Middlesbrough. I think it was. What was it called? Super Game something. It had like Street Fighter characters on the front of the shutters. We got there and it was closed. Like we got there bang on 10 o'clock in the morning, so we had a bit of a walk around and came back and I went into it and it was like a pretty cool store. Had point and click adventures in there, Marcus, because Marcus didn't come with us. Point and click adventures on the Amiga, and you're missing out on them. I was very close to getting Curse of a Chanter on the Amiga, very close. But I saw this and I had to get it. I had to get it. We was just walking out the store and I walked out and I saw this and I was like, no, it's coming home with me, and it is the taco. Is it taco? The taco octopus from Parodius. Oh my goodness. I'm not a plushy guy, I'm not, but these are super cool. It's pretty funny because me and Dylan have been talking about this for ages, going, shall we not? Because it's like 25 quid plus you got to pay a postage. Well, this was 25 quid from the store, sitting there ready and waiting for me. 25 quid's a lot of money for a plush. However, it's not when it's as beautiful as this, and so cool. I love the octopus from Parodius. What's he called? The Octopus Saves the World, which is the first one. Yeah, you need, as a shooter, everyone needs this in the collection. So I think it was who was it? First Press Games. Hang on, it does tell me on here. Some limited company released this or distributed it by Konami under license of Konami. Who was it? Someone did tell me who was it. Someone was reading this and it did said that it was on the label, but obviously it's not. It is limited to like 2,000. There's only 2,000 of these, so yeah, this will obviously be worth millions in the future. There's this one, there's a Castlevania one, and there's another one as well. And I would love to get them all. I'd love to get them all, but that's like 100 quid in plushes. So, but it's in my possession now. I've got perfect place for this above the arcades. Oh yeah, like I say, the pickup of the trip. Tell me anything differently because you're obviously wrong. But anyway, yeah, that was the road trip, the pickups, and yeah, great time. Great time. It was awesome spending some time with everyone and getting drunk, which was the main thing. I think we had about 15 hours sleep in total for the whole trip. I was knackered like the Saturday. I really was. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.